I'm Susan M. Baganz, and I'm an author with Pelican Book Group, and I'm here to share with you about my novel, Root Beer and Roadblocks. This is book 4 in the Orchard Hill Church series, romance novels that take place in the northwest suburbs of Milwaukee. And this book is kind of a follow-up to Feta and Freeways, although it can be read on its own. And it takes a look at the journey of Johnny. So when I first wrote the books, I based them on burlap to cashmere. And this is, trying to not get the glare from the screen, this is a picture of Stephen Delopoulos and Johnny Philippidis. Wrong person here. This is Johnny. This is Stephen. With burlap to cashmere. So I took their journey and I modified it, and they do know about this, so it's not a surprise to them. They've actually gotten copies of the book. But Johnny went on quite a journey in real life where he had been attacked, and coming back from trying to come back with burlap to cashmere after years of being off the scene of music as a band. They were still recording individually and doing studio work. But Johnny had been beaten up, and he had suffered some trauma with that, and they didn't know if he'd ever play again, and he did. So that was kind of woven into Feta and Freeways. But at the end of Feta and Freeways, instead of giving Johnny that kind of a backstory, because Johnny still stayed Johnny, I just couldn't change his name. Stephen became Nico, but Johnny had to be Johnny. There was just no other name for him. And I told the real Johnny that, I'd written him into a story, and, that I admired his playing and his comeback and what God had done in his life. And I said, that I didn't give him that same backstory. He says, well, does he have one eye? Because Johnny has one eye. And because of what had happened to him. And I said, no, I gave you cancer. He's like, what? Which sounds horrible. I gave a character cancer. But in the first book, in Feta and Freeways, Johnny's a survivor of cancer. But at the end of the book, his cancer's returned. And when I finished the book, I'm like, oh no, now I gotta write Johnny's story. And Johnny was divorced in the book. I don't know about the real life Johnny. I didn't ask him all those questions. Some things should stay private, right? And so Johnny gets cancer again, and he's at a crossroads. And at the same time as this kind of news comes up, he runs back into a woman from his past and his first love, the woman he wanted to marry and never did. So Katie is the girl, and she had run away from him years ago. And so she has a little surprise for Johnny when they finally reconnect. And it might be the kind of surprise that will help him take the necessary steps to get the treatment that he needs to recover from his cancer. So I wrote the book. I did a lot of research because I haven't had cancer. My dad does, and is currently going through chemo. Not the same kind of cancer that Johnny has. So I had to do quite a bit of research and read a lot of blogs to get that information. And then try to put myself in that spot of what it would have been like to go through what Johnny was going through in this story. There's a lot of other themes in this story, along with redemption, adoption, infertility, because that's something that Johnny believed that he would never be able to have children of his own, based on the treatment that he had had the first time around. So there's hope, there's redemption. It's a beautiful story. I love Johnny's character. I like the real life Johnny too. I mean, he's just a really sweet guy and an amazing guitar player. And I hope I did a character that's kind of based on him justice. I never did hear if they liked it or not. But they did get a copy of the book, the two lead singers of the band. So if you want to read a story of hope and redemption and past mistakes being put right, then check out Root Beer and Roadblocks, book 4 in the Orchard Hill Church series. And it is a standalone. You don't have to read the other books to enjoy this story. And I've had people do it and feel like they had a better grasp and understanding of the struggle that people have gone through with cancer, so it gives them a greater empathy for that. And if that is something you're struggling with, my heart goes out to you and my prayers go out to you, that you will come out the other side, and in the meantime that Jesus Christ will meet you there. So, Root Beer and Roadblocks, available in ebook and print for now. Hopefully it'll be available at some time in an audiobook too, but this is what it is for now. Thank you.